Hi, this is Francisco Bujan from vitalcoaching.com. The topic for this video is 6 keys or 6 elements to get out of an abusive relationship. You know by experience probably and by hearing all my videos that a lot of my effort goes into protecting couples, actually, into protecting their lives, protecting the communication skills, teaching more ideas about better sex, more passion and all that. But sometimes you are going to be in a relationship which is simply bad for you. When we talk about abusive relationship, it doesn't mean necessarily that it has to be physical abuse. Most of the abuse that goes on out there is actually emotional abuse. It means that you are going to be in a situation where your partner is going to be abusive, emotionally demanding, pressurizing, jealous, controlling. He's going to be able, or she's going to be able to snap at you anytime, and it gives you the feeling that you are really walking or living within a war zone. It means that you are in tension, under pressure all the time, and basically it makes your life miserable. So when we look at this idea of getting out of a relationship which is being abusive, there are a few things to understand, and those keys are more like 6 elements to understand about getting out of a relationship. So the first one is that even though you know that it would be better to step out, most of the times you still want to give it a chance. It means that you still didn't come to the breaking point where you are ready to go. Sometimes you still have hope that there is going to be change. You still want to work on the relationship together. Maybe you are seeing a therapist or a coach. You are trying to still build up the complicity in your relationship, in your couple, and basically you are not yet ready to give up. So this is an element that can keep you there much longer. It is if you still have hope that your partner might be changing. The second element is I am afraid of being by myself, or I'm not sure I will be happy by myself. This is another element which is important because, of course, when you step out of a relationship, you go from being a couple, two persons, basically getting emotional validation and support from each other, to suddenly being by yourself. And you need to know and teach yourself how to be single again. And that's can be a very big step. So that's the second element. It is the fact that you might not really know what is coming next once you step out of this relationship, and that's an element to understand. The third element is, and this one can feel really strange, it is the fact that being in an abusive relationship can feel to a certain extent comfortable. Okay, I'm saying that very respectfully and between brackets. The idea of comfort simply has to do with the fact that you know what to expect, and sometimes it's more comfortable to stay in a relationship which is abusive than stepping out and basically entering into the unknown. So this idea of being comfortable in a situation which is basically stressful simply has to do with the fact that it's predictable. You know what to expect. When you come back from work and you enter your house, you know what kind of emotions you are going to meet. You know the kind of environment that is there. You understand the dynamics. You know about the dynamics, and basically you know what to expect. So this is something that to a certain extent can give you more comfort than really stepping out altogether into the unknown. A fourth element, and this one also is a tricky one to understand. It is the fact that people can sometimes get addicted to conflict. It means that when there is conflict, when there is abuse, you actually generate fire. You tap into your survival drive, your survival mode. There is this activity and this fire, and basically there is a set of biochemical reactions that happen in your body, in your brain, anytime there is conflict, anytime there is stress that is stimulated. And I know that this again can feel strange if you haven't been confronted with this kind of mindset, but sometimes people trigger conflict on purpose simply to feel alive, simply to feel that there is something happening, simply because sometimes for certain people harmony and peace can almost appear like boring, like there is not enough happening. So when you trigger conflict, when there is fight, when there is something exciting on that level happening, basically sometimes it's almost like you can get addicted to this kind of set of biochemical reactions that happen inside of you when you're in that kind of situation. Some people decide to consciously live in war zones. They are going to be confronted with situations which are very challenging because they know that in those kind of situations there is an adrenaline rush, there is a fire, there is a survival instinct that kicks in and that makes them feel alive. So If you are not familiar with these ideas, simply consider them and look at them, between brackets, okay? You have to understand that there are certain people on this planet who actually feed themselves on an energy level out of conflict. When there is no conflict, they are going to consciously create conflict or subconsciously create conflict simply to feel more alive, to feel like something is happening. And when you have been in an abusive situation for many years, basically you get used to it and you get almost addicted to the set of biochemical reactions that happen when this is happening. So stepping out and being suddenly in a position of peace and comfort and harmony can actually feel challenging because it is unknown and you're not familiar with the mindsets associated with that. So I again say that with great respect. I'm not saying that this is your position, but I want you to understand that maybe if you have been in an abusive situation for longer than needed, maybe that's an element that can play a role. A fifth element that can play a very significant role is the fact that when you break up with somebody and you step out of their lives, what you leave behind is not just the person, it is everything that is in their energy reality. This can mean children, it can mean a house where you live together, it can mean the social life, it can be their family. So there is, when you step out and you break up with that person and basically, let go of that relationship, you let go not only of that person, but also of all the elements which are connected with that person. So if you have been, for instance, educating a child together, which is not your child, but his or her child, eventually when you step out, you have to let go of that child or whatever you invested into that person as well. If you have been investing into his or her business as well, or into his or her house, that's also something that you will have to let go of. So that can be very challenging as well. Sixth element that plays a role also is the fact that when you are trying to step out, very often you won't have a base which is already ready for you to step in. So the best way to actually prepare for for this breakup and stepping out of this abusive relationship, it is to start taking little steps, practical, simple, little steps which are going to strengthen your personal foundation when you step out. So what does it mean? It means prepare yourself financially. Where do you get the money? Maybe you have to go back to work, find some work, find some source of income. Maybe you have to start already renting a place, or preparing a place for you to live. So all these little elements have to do with your personal foundation. So when you step out of a relationship, it's an old personal foundation that collapses and you have to rebuild a new one. And the best way to build this new personal foundation is to start building it when you are still in that old relationship. It means that you start really planning what you do if you have to leave tomorrow. And then you start organizing your life around the possibility of no longer being with that person. Okay? I hope that all these tips and elements make sense. And again, the goal is basically to work on your relationship if it's possible. But sometimes you reach a point where you notice that the other person is not changing, that you're not progressing, you're fighting a lot, there is lots of tension, and basically stepping out is sometimes easier than keep on fighting for very little results. So if you like what you heard in this video, get back in touch directly with me. Go back to my site, to vitalcoaching.com/coaching.htm. You will see that there is a link there where you can buy some credits, sign up for a coaching session with me, and we can work on strategizing the end of an abusive relationship together. It means that I can offer you support during this transition and basically help you take positive steps for the future. The link again is at vitalcoaching.com/coaching.htm. I'll be really honored and happy to help you with that if you need help on this topic. Take care for now, and talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.